That consideration also means the following. If you had a 200-year bond and one quarter you failed to make the interest payments, as your creditors, I can sue you for bankruptcy. I'm going to go to court and say, these guys did not meet their obligations to me. Please declare them bankrupt, which means the court is going to liquidate the firm and distribute it among the creditors. But if a firm misses a dividend for a preferred stock, since legally it is not debt, you cannot declare that firm bankrupt. Sometimes firms prefer preferred stock because of that, especially startup firms. It just could be that they can't make it. They don't want to be declared bankrupt because of it. There are two types. One is called cumulative. Let's say you have a preferred stock that's supposed to pay $250 every quarter, and this right now you decided you can't make this quarter's payments. But 1 year from now, you're good enough. So at that point, you missed 4 payments. Your next payment is going to be the 5th. You have to pay 5 times 2.5, so 12.5. But if it was non-cumulative, no need to make up past missed payments. So if you had a non-cumulative preferred stock in the same scenario, you would have had to pay only $250 next year when you are able to pay. But you cannot simply say, you preferred stock guys, you guys are suckers, I'm not going to pay you. You can say that because it is not a debt instrument legally. But if you do that, you are not legally allowed to pay your common shareholders. Let's say you're a preferred shareholder, you're a common shareholder. I told you, sorry, but I can't go ahead and pay you anything, dividends, because you're preferred. I have to pay you first before I can pay you anything. All right? Obviously, cumulative preferred stocks should be more valuable than non-cumulative, everything else being the same. One more thing. This is in terms of calculations, how to choose board of directors. The key principle is one share, one vote, unless there are different share classes. For example, Google has 3 share classes. There's one class, I think it's class C. It has no voting power. So they can't vote in the either C or A. You can check. They can't vote in annual meetings. There's class A. They get 1 vote, 1 share. There are also founder shares. These are the shares of the Google guys. I think they get 10 votes for each of their shares. But generically, 1 share, 1 vote. There are 2 types of elections. One is called straight voting. Separate election for each seat, This is like electing members for the House of Representatives in Kentucky. Kentucky gets 6 House members, but we have technically 6 different elections. So if you want at least 1 membership, you have to have at least 50% in one of the counties. But in this case, voters are all the same. So if everybody in Kentucky voted for all of the Kentucky memberships, then you have to get 50% all over Kentucky to get at least 1 member. The other one is called cumulative voting. One share equals N votes if N seats are open. This is rather common in kind of continental Europe in parliamentary elections. So to guarantee a seat, and let's say M is number of total shares. You need 1 over M plus 1 times M plus 1 shares. So in the case of Kentucky, everybody votes on all the memberships, and to guarantee that you're going to get at least one seat, let's assume M is 1,000 or 1 million, and is 6. You need 1 over 7 times 1 million plus 1. It's 142. Come on, 859. So if you got 14.29% of the votes, you can get one house membership. That's why the continental systems can accommodate more than 2 parties, because even small parties can get seats in the parliament. Obviously, the straight voting is more dictatorial. This is a little bit more democratic. There is also one more way companies can make it democratic, dictatorial, even under cumulative voting, if you stagger the elections. For example, Senate gives you 6-year terms, right? But it is renewed every 2 years, only 1/3. So if you did that for House, every year we would have picked only 2 members, right? That means for a small party to get a seat, they need 1/3 of the vote instead of 14%. Next Thursday, we're gonna have our exam. This weekend, I'm gonna post a video that kind of describes you how exam is gonna go in terms of your options. And this exam is designed to make sure that even if you picked all the hard questions, if you randomly selected the answers, you should be able to get 50%. That's how I designed. All right. Uh, but if you know that certain topics you're not strong at, pick easy ones. About 40% of the questions are going to be your topic of choice from a limited 3. And even at the end, I'm going to curve the whole thing so that lower of mean and median is going to be 75%. Typically, there's some asymmetry that lower of thing corrects for that. So if you did average being in code, you should expect a 75. And the way I curve, you benefit a lot more if you're much below the average. If you did 98, maybe you'll go to 98.2. That's about it. But at that point, you don't care anyway. But if you did 30, that 30 probably will go up to 50 or so, which is still horrible. But if you do a lot better on the other stuff, it gives you a fighting chance. All right. But remember, this whole thing is designed so that you have options. If you have no idea on a given required topic, pick a basic one. At least, you have a chance to randomly guess. But, if you're wrong on those random guesses and pick intermediate, you'll lose more points. Though, and every question has 3 attempts. Essentially, if you know that 2 or 3 of the things are wrong, you get a pretty good shot of getting it right in the first or second attempt. It kind of rewards partial knowledge. If this was a 300 question exam, I wouldn't have worried about that. But in a 20 question exam, if you miss 2, you missed an A. Well, sometimes this comes from a test bank. By the luck of the draw or unluck of the draw, you get something hard. So I want to reward the partial knowledge. So if you know something about the problem, you get something out of it. All right. And this is, I am the only one in the entire universe that I know of that does this exam because it was not implementable until recently, unless you had written software in it, which I'm going to do this summer. Thursday. Tuesday, we don't have a class because it's fall break. Not Monday, on Wednesday. Oh, I'm sorry, Wednesday. I'm sorry. You're right. Look, I'm old. I also teach a Tuesday, Thursday section. It's Open Note, Open Book, Open Blackboard. You can use anything I post on Blackboard, including Excel templates.
And we're doing it like on our laptops and stuff.
You can do it on your laptop, on these things. It's up to you. So you can generate any notes you want on paper, on your laptop. I don't believe in closed notes exams because I don't believe in memorization. I mean, I can memorize the shit out of anything. I almost have eidetic memory, and I hate memorizing stuff because it doesn't teach me. At least if you create your own notes, that's one way of learning. Some people learn that way. Everybody has their own way, but you can create any note you want. I mean, you can look at those PDFs of the sample problems I've done. If you want, you can even look at the videos that I posted. But whatever you want, you can do your own cheat sheet, basically.
I like that. Appreciate
And
it.
it could be 25 pages long.
Is chapter 7 gonna be long?
No, just 236. I mean, I wanted to do chapter 7 this week because I wanted to give you guys more time to prepare during the break. Otherwise, my original plan would have been to do it today. But I don't believe in entrapping you guys. But if you go and do things on the fall break, that's your business. I never put an exam after Thanksgiving, but fall break, I don't care. No problem. See you guys.